This is the Step Up to Writing Grade 3 test for information and explanatory writing. This is a summative assessment. Your directions. Do not begin until you're told to do so. Once your teacher tells you to begin, you may use the time provided to complete all the steps below. Number 1, read the sources on page 2. 2, answer the questions on page 3 about the sources. 3, read the writing prompt and directions on page 4. And 4, write a short essay based on the prompt.
Hi, Mrs. Shaw. Where's Paul?
But you still hear me, Mama?
Source number 1. What are invasive species? The invaders are coming. What are they and what do they want? The invaders can be plants, animals, or other living things that take over places where they don't belong. They are called invasive species because they push out the plants and animals or other things that do belong in these areas. Source number 2. European starlings. In 1890, 100 birds were set free in New York City's Central Park. Seems harmless, right? Think again. Now there are over 200 million starlings in parts of North America. Ever since European starlings were brought over from Europe, they have caused loads of trouble in the U.S. Starlings live in large roosts. Sometimes more than 10,000 birds live together in a roost. The noise and smells coming from the roosts are bothersome to people who live nearby. Do you like cherries or apples? You'd better hope that the starlings don't get to them first. These invasive birds also eat large amounts of grapes, blueberries, and other crops. Starlings feast on feed meant for cattle too. They eat tons of feed every year. Starlings also use these nesting spaces of other birds. This is reducing the number of some types of birds in those places. Source number 3. Adapted from invasive species in the Great Lakes. What comes to your mind when you think of the Great Lakes? For many people, the lakes mean fishing, sailing, or summer fun at the beach. Invasive species in the Great Lakes, however, are making it hard to enjoy some of these activities. First, there are the pesky fishhook water fleas. They clog fishing lines and nets, which ruins the lines and nets and costs fishermen money. Then there's the Eurasian water milfoil, a plant that grows underwater. It also floats in huge mats on top of the lakes. It interferes with swimming, fishing, water skiing, and boating. Another invasive species in the lakes is a fish named the round goby. Round gobies take over areas used by native fish. This could cause other fish to die out. Invasive species often get into places where they don't belong because of people's actions. Learning more about invasive species could help us keep nature in balance. Questions. Directions. Refer back to the sources on page 2. Fill in the correct bubble to answer the questions. Number 1. What is the main idea of source number 2? A. European starlings are a type of bird. B. There are over 200 million European starlings. C. European starlings have caused trouble in the U.S. D. European starlings live in flocks of 10,000 or more. Number 2. Which detail from source number 2 best supports the correct answer above? A. European starlings were set free in Central Park. B. European starlings eat crops and cattle feed. C. European starlings came from Europe. D. European starlings live near people. Number 3. According to source number 1, what is an invasive species? A. Invaders from another planet. B. Animals, but not plants. C. Living things that take over places where they don't belong. Or D. Plants or animals most often found underwater. Number 4. What is the meaning of interfere in source number 3? A. Makes more interesting. B. Makes something easier. C. Has no effect. Or D. It gets in the way. Number 5. Based on source number 3, why would people most likely want to get rid of Eurasian water milfoil plants? A. They make it hard to enjoy many summer activities. B. They bring too many scientists to the lakes. C. They make the water look green. Or D. They use up too much water from the lakes. Prompt. Write a short essay explaining the ways that invasive species are harmful. Use details from at least 2 sources to support your answer. Directions. 1. Plan in the space provided below. 2. Write your response on the pages that follow. Checklist. Use this checklist to do your best writing. Do you have a topic sentence? Did you connect ideas with transitions? Did you include details? Did you use precise words of different kinds of sentences? Did your conclusion tie up your writing? Did you review your writing? Have you answered the prompt? Have you fixed errors in capitalization, punctuation, grammar, and spelling? Planning space. Use the following space to plan your writing. Do your writing on these pages.